Time for tonight's rewrite. Mike Huckabee's got to make a living. We all do. Let's listen to Mike explaining his latest hustle to the longest-running, outright crazy person in broadcasting, Pat Robertson.
Well, former Governor Mike Huckabee joins us now from Little Rock. Mike, it's good to have you back on the 700 Club. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Pat. It's a delight to be here. I know that you, too, are a student of history and probably, like me, are frustrated that so many kids don't have a clue about the real American history and how great a country we really have.
Well, what are you teaching in this series you're doing?
Well, one of the things we want to do is to show that American history is very positive, that this is a good country. So many kids today, 25% of high school seniors surveyed did not know who the first president was. Less than 3% of high school students could answer even 3 out of 10 questions on the citizenship test. We have really a history deficiency among young people. So the purpose of this is to take these animated videos that are very watchable for kids. It's designed for kids. I think adults could learn something, but you know, we make it very clear this is for 7-year-old kids. But we want them to understand who they are as Americans.
So what Mike wants you to do for 7-year-old kids is go to learnourhistory.com and plunk down $19.95 for a DVD that will teach your 7-year-old about 9/11, because of course there's no way you could trust a school or a book to do that. And here's what Mike will teach your 7-year-old about 9/11.
Do something like this.
See, this is exactly why we need Mike. There are way too many descriptions of criminal activity in the news and in American history that do not, in the very first adjectival phrase about the criminals, include their religion. I'm sitting here right now with no idea what Casey Anthony's religion is. Nobody has told me, and I've watched a lot of Casey Anthony stuff. When Mike Huckabee does his DVD for 7-year-olds on the Casey Anthony trial, every 7-year-old is going to know her religion as soon as they know her name. Now, sure, Mike could have called them Middle Eastern terrorists or Saudi Arabian terrorists, but he knows that it's their religion that made them terrorists, not where they're from. Now, I haven't seen Mike's Christopher Columbus DVD yet, but I'm sure it's entitled something like How Catholics Discovered America, because, you know, religion makes people do good things too, not just bad things like 9/11. All right, let's keep rolling. Mike's 9/11 for Kids video.
Al-Qaeda is led by Osama bin Laden.
The time for jihad is upon us. Death to the Americans!
Wow, look at the police and firefighters heading right into the middle of it.
See, in show business, you would find that the thing about casting is you try to get the best actor, but what you're really getting, the only thing you can ever really get, is the best actor who's available. So I guess the best actor Mike could get to play a New York City kid in awe of fire trucks was a kid from Arkansas.
Look at the police and firefighters heading right into the middle of it.
Some of the passengers learned about the other hijacked planes and decided to fight back.
So that's our plan. Bring down the Taliban and Al-Qaeda.
Again, casting is best available actor. Yeah, Colin Powell is from New York City and doesn't talk like that, but when you're casting for videos for 7-year-olds, the perfect Colin Powell isn't going to be easy to get. But one thing you do actually control in animated videos, I mean completely control, is wardrobe. Colin Powell was a general and wore a uniform before, like long before he became Secretary of State, where he actually kind of dressed, you know, basically like me. But nowhere in Mike's sales pitch for these DVDs does he make any claim of historical accuracy in wardrobe. So I'm giving him a break on wardrobe.
The U.S. and its allies broke apart al-Qaeda and cut off bin Laden from his followers and his money.
I can hear you! And the people who knocked these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
Look, I try to be very understanding and, yes, even forgiving about what some people have to do to make a living. I mean, look what I'm doing. Who am I to get all judgmental about how you make a buck? But I know some of you less forgiving types out there are looking at Mike's DVD and thinking, you're kidding me. Former Baptist pastor Mike Huckabee has become a 9/11 profiteer? A former Republican presidential candidate has become a 9/11 profiteer? No. Rudy Giuliani doesn't count. Not in my book anyway, because although he's made millions and millions of dollars in lecture fees, all because of 9/11, the guy actually was mayor of New York City during 9/11, and that's a legitimate component of his memoirs as he presents them for sale in the lecture business, no matter how falsely he presents them. But this Huckabee thing? Yeah, strictly speaking, you know, if you want to be like, you know, a strict constructionist about 9/11 profiteering, Mike Huckabee is now a 9/11 profiteer. But I, for one, am going to go to bed tonight confident that we live in a country where the parents who actively seek educational supplements for their children are going to aim a little higher than Mike Huckabee's DVDs. And no matter how much former Baptist pastor Mike Huckabee abjectly debases himself to sell his thoroughly stupid DVDs, he can only become a 9/11 profiteer if the DVDs actually make a profit. I'm betting we live in a country that's better than Mike Huckabee and won't deliver him a profit for what he's trying to push on 7-year-olds.